You're not getting a single dollar. That's what my father said to me at our family dinner. Not I love you. Not I believe in you. Just a cold, calculated financial cutoff designed to break me. What he didn't know was that at that exact moment, my phone was ringing with news that would change everything. News that I was now CEO of a $100 million company. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me take you back to the moment my world both ended and began. The Brooks family estate dining room feels like a courtroom. Heavy curtains, dark wood paneling, a table so polished you can see your reflection in it, your failures staring right back at you. I'm sitting across from my father, Richard Brooks, CEO of Brooks Capital, a private equity firm worth $500 million. Beside him is Vanessa, my stepmother, looking perfect in her designer black dress. And next to her, Tyler, my 25-year-old half-brother, the golden child who can do no wrong. This family meeting was called specifically to discuss my future, or more accurately, to tell me I don't have one with them. Maya, Dad starts, not even looking up from his wine glass, you've made it abundantly clear you don't want to be part of this family's legacy. You turned down the VP position at Brooks Capital. You've wasted 3 years working on some app nobody's heard of. I open my mouth to speak, but he raises a hand. Your trust fund access ends today. You're 28 years old. It's time to make it on your own. The words hit like a physical blow. 28 years old, and my father is cutting me off like I'm a failed investment he's writing off. Dad, my company is about to close a major funding round. Connected is an AI-powered education platform that's going to revolutionize. I've heard the pitches, Maya, he interrupts, finally making eye contact. His eyes are cold, disappointed. I've seen the numbers. You're burning through seed money with no revenue. You're living in fantasy land. He gestures to Tyler, who's sitting there with this barely contained smirk. Meanwhile, Tyler brought in 3 successful acquisitions this quarter alone. 3 companies worth a combined £50 million. That's what success looks like. Vanessa leans forward, her voice dripping with fake concern. Darling, some people are just meant to be employees, not entrepreneurs. There's no shame in that. Not everyone has the Brooks business instinct. The way she says Brooks business instinct, like it's a genetic trait I failed to inherit, makes my stomach turn. Dad pulls out papers, legal documents. He slides them across the table like he's closing a deal. Effective immediately, no more allowance. No more credit cards. No more apartment rent covered. You want to prove yourself? Do it without our money. My hands are shaking. My rent is £4,500 a month in London. My company's runway is 6 months. I've been banking on this meeting going differently. Maybe Dad's seeing potential. Maybe offering to invest. I wasn't expecting warmth, but I also wasn't expecting complete disownment. That's when my phone buzzes. I ignore it. It buzzes again. And again. Dad's face goes red. Turn that bloody phone off. This is exactly why you'll never succeed. No focus, no discipline. I glance at the screen. 3 missed calls from Sarah Chun, my executive assistant. Then a text pops up. Urgent. Answer now. I need to take this. I say, standing up. Sit down, Dad orders. We're not finished. Actually, I say, my voice steadier than I feel. I think we are. I walk out of the dining room, my heels clicking on marble floors, and answer the phone in the hallway. Sarah, this better be Ms. Brooks. Sarah's voice is shaking, but not with fear. With excitement. Pure, unfiltered excitement. SoftBank just wired $40 million. The deal closed. You're now officially running a $100 million company. The world tilts sideways. Say that again. My voice is barely a whisper. SoftBank's $40 million just hit the account. Sarah's practically screaming now. Plus the $25 million from Sequoia that cleared yesterday morning, and the $15 million from Andreessen Horowitz that came through this afternoon. Maya, the Series B is fully subscribed. $80 million raised. Combined with our existing valuation metrics, that puts Connected at a $100 million post-money valuation. I'm leaning against the wall because my knees have literally gone weak. This can't be real. 8 months of pitching. 47 different VC firms. 42 rejections. Living on instant noodles and hope. Maxing out my last credit card to pay the development team. lying awake at 3 a.m. wondering if I was delusional for believing in this. And it actually worked. There's more, Sarah continues, her voice cracking with emotion. TechCrunch wants an exclusive interview. Forbes is calling about their 30 under 30 list. And BBC wants you for tomorrow morning's business segment. Maya, you did it. You actually fucking did it. I'm crying. Standing in my father's hallway, mascara probably running, crying tears of relief and vindication in pure exhaustion. Send me the wire confirmations, I managed to say. All of them. I need to see it. Already in your inbox. Check your phone. I do. There they are. 3 separate wire notifications. Numbers, so large they don't look real. $40 million. $25 million. $15 million. I take a breath. Then another. Then I walk back into that dining room with my head high and my phone in my hand. They're waiting impatiently. Dad looks furious that I've dared to interrupt his pronouncement of my failure. Vanessa's whispering something to Tyler. Tyler's checking his own phone, probably texting his girlfriend about the family drama. Are you quite finished? Dad says coldly. We're in the middle of. That was my assistant. I interrupt, and my voice is steady now. Clear. Strong. My company just closed an $80 million Series B funding round. Led by SoftBank, with participation from Sequoia Capital and Andreessen Horowitz. The room goes dead silent. We're now valued at $100 million. Dad's mouth actually hangs open. Vanessa's wine glass freezes halfway to her lips. Tyler's smirk disappears so fast it's almost funny. That's not possible, Dad finally manages. You said you were struggling to raise money. I was struggling to raise from traditional VCs who think like you, I reply. Investors who can't see past their own outdated business models. But I found firms who actually understand EdTech and AI, who understand that the future of education isn't textbooks and lectures, it's personalized, AI-driven learning platforms that adapt to each student. I pull out my phone, navigate to my email, and show them the screen. Wire confirmations. All 3 of them. Dad snatches the phone from my hand, actually snatches it, and reads every word. I watch his face change. Confusion. Disbelief. And then something I've never seen before, fear. Because he just made a catastrophic mistake, and he knows it. The term sheet was signed 3 weeks ago. I continue. I didn't tell you because, frankly, I didn't think you'd care. You made it very clear that my company was worthless, that I was wasting my time, that I'd never succeed. Vanessa finds her voice first. Well, congratulations, Maya. Though I'm sure you understand that $100 million valuation is just on paper. It's not real money until I exit? I finish for her. You're right, but it's more real than the potential you kept telling me I was wasting. And it's definitely more real than the support I got from this family. I look at my father. Really look at him. This man who raised me after Mom died. This man who remarried within 2 years and had a son he actually loves. This man who just disowned me 30 minutes ago. So, Dad, about that trust fund? I don't need it anymore. Never really did, apparently. But there is something we need to discuss about the future of Brooks Capital and what happens when word gets out that you publicly disown the daughter who just became a 9-figure CEO. His face goes from red to gray. Maya, let's not be hasty. Too late, I say. I'm done being hasty. I'm done trying to prove myself to people who were never going to see me anyway. I grab my bag and walk toward the door. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for the motivation. The next 48 hours are absolute chaos. TechCrunch runs the exclusive that night. Connected raises $80 million in oversubscribed Series B, becomes UK's hottest edtech startup. The article is glowing, talking about our AI algorithms, our growth metrics, our vision for democratizing education. And buried in paragraph 7, Maya Brooks, daughter of Richard Brooks of Brooks Capital, who notably declined to invest in his daughter's company at seed, Series A, and Series B stages. That one line sets off a bomb. By morning, Forbes has published their feature. How Maya Brooks built a $100 million company while her private equity mogul father looked the other way. The piece includes quotes from industry insiders calling Dad short-sighted and out of touch with modern tech. But the BBC interview is what really does it. I'm sitting across from presenter Sarah Montague in the studio, and she doesn't waste time with softballs. Your father runs one of the UK's most successful private equity firms, she says. Did Brooks Capital invest in Connected? I maintain professional composure. My father was given the opportunity to invest at the seed stage, Series A and Series B. He declined all 3 times. He felt the business model wasn't viable. And now you've raised $80 million from some of the world's top venture capital firms. The numbers speak for themselves. I say simply. The clip goes viral within hours. Hashtag Brooks Family Drama trends on Twitter. The Financial Times runs an opinion piece titled, When Family Blinds You to Opportunity, the Cost of Bias in Investment Decisions. But the absolute kill shot comes from Business Insider 3 days later. Someone leaked. Someone in that dining room told the press exactly what happened. Word for word. The headline, the family meeting that cost Richard Brooks $100 million. The article is devastating. Just hours after Richard Brooks told his daughter she was burning through seed money with no revenue and living in fantasy land, Maya Brooks closed one of the largest EdTech Series B rounds in European history. Sources close to the family confirmed that Brooks cut his daughter off from her trust fund at the same meeting, telling her to make it on her own. She did, raising $80 million from SoftBank, Sequoia, and Andreessen Horowitz within 24 hours of the confrontation. My phone won't stop ringing. Interview requests. Partnership offers. Investors who passed on our Series A suddenly want to talk about participating in our Series C. It's everything I've worked for, everything I've dreamed of, but it's also destroying my father's reputation in real time. Brooks Capital's LPs, the limited partners who've invested in his funds, are calling emergency meetings. I hear through the grapevine, Tech London is small when you're at this level, that 3 major investors are threatening to pull their money. They're questioning Dad's judgment. If he can't spot a unicorn when it's having dinner at his table, what other opportunities is he missing? The Wall Street Journal runs a brutal piece, Brooks Capital's blind spot, when bias costs billions. They dig up other deals Dad passed on, companies that later became massive successes. Suddenly, it's not just about me. It's about a pattern of poor judgment. I should feel vindicated. I should feel satisfied watching karma work in real time. Instead, I just feel exhausted. Because at the end of the day, that's still my father. The man who taught me to ride a bike. Who sat with me in the hospital when Mum was dying. Who used to call me his brilliant girl before Vanessa and Tyler came along and I became the disappointment. My assistant Sarah finds me in my new office. We just signed a lease on 5,000 square feet in Shoreditch, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city, staring at my laptop, reading the Business Insider article for the 10th time. You okay, boss? Someone from that dinner leaked to the press, I say. The quotes are exact. Burning through seed money with no revenue. Living in fantasy land. Those were his exact words. Maybe it was Tyler, Sarah suggests. Maybe, but I don't think so. Tyler's always been Dad's shadow. He wouldn't betray him like that. There's someone here to see you, Sarah says carefully. He doesn't have an appointment, but... Who? Your father. He looks terrible. That's my first thought when he walks into the conference room. Richard Brooks, the man who's always perfectly groomed, always in immaculate Seville Row suits, always composed, looks like he hasn't slept in days. His suit is rumpled. His hair is uncombed. There are actual shadows under his eyes. Maya, he says, and his voice cracks. Please, we need to talk. I want to tell him to leave. I want to say all the things I've been holding back for years. But Sarah's already left and closed the glass door behind her, and now it's just me and my father in this fishbowl conference room where the entire office can see us but not hear us. 10 minutes, I say coldly. He sits down across from me like he's afraid I'll bolt if he moves too fast. I made a mistake. A terrible, terrible mistake. Which one? I ask. Cutting me off. Humiliating me in front of the family. Telling the press that my company was worthless. Or just generally being a shit father for the past 16 years. He flinches. All of it. Maya, I underestimated you. I underestimated your company. I let my ego, my pride, get in the way of seeing what you were building. Your ego. I laugh, and it's not a nice sound. Dad, you didn't just underestimate me. You disowned me. At a family dinner. In front of Vanessa and Tyler. You told me I was a failure and threw me out like garbage. I know. He's crying now. Actual tears running down Richard Brooks's face. I've seen this man cry twice in my life. At Mom's funeral and when Tyler was born. I know what I did, and I'm here to apologize and to make it right. He pulls out papers from his briefcase. Always papers. Always documents. That's how Richard Brooks solves problems, with contracts and money. This is a bridge funding offer. Brooks Capital will invest £20 million in Connected at your current valuation. No board seat required. No special terms. I just want to be part of your success. I stare at him in disbelief. You're trying to buy your way back into my life. I'm trying to fix what I broke. His voice rises, desperate. Maya, you're my daughter. I let you down. I know that. But I'm still your father. And watching you succeed without me, watching the press tear apart our relationship, it's killing me. Is it killing you because you lost me, or because your LPs are threatening to pull money? He recoils like I've slapped him. That's not fair. Isn't it? I lean forward. Your reputation is taking a beating. Brooks Capital is losing credibility. 3 LPs are threatening to walk. This isn't about me, Dad. This is about saving your firm. No, he says firmly. This is about realizing I missed it. I missed watching you build something incredible. Your mother would be so proud of you, and I failed her by not being proud of you myself. The mention of Mum hits different. He knows it. That's why he's using it. Don't you dare bring Mum into this, I say, voice shaking. She would be ashamed of you. She would be ashamed that you chose Vanessa and Tyler over your own daughter. That you let them turn you into someone who values money over family. Then let me prove I've changed, he pleads. Take the investment. Let me help you. Let me be your father again. And here's the thing, part of me wants to. Part of me is still that 8-year-old girl who worshipped her dad, who thought he hung the moon, who wanted nothing more than his approval. But another part of me, the part that survived the past 16 years, knows better. I look at the term sheet he's pushed across the table. £20 million at our current valuation. No board seat. No special terms. I'll have my lawyers review it, I say carefully. Relief floods his face. Thank you. Maya, thank you. We can fix this. We can be a family again. That's when Tyler walks in. My half-brother looks nervous. More nervous than I've ever seen him. And he's looking at me, not Dad. I need to talk to Maya, he says. Alone. Dad doesn't want to leave. I can see him trying to figure out what Tyler's doing here, why he needs to talk to me alone. But I'm curious enough to ask him to go. 5 minutes. I tell Dad. Wait in reception. He leaves reluctantly, closing the door behind him. Tyler sits down in the chair Dad just vacated, pulls out his phone, and without preamble says, You need to know what's really going on. What Mum's been doing. He calls Vanessa Mum. I've always hated that. What are you talking about? He shows me his phone. A group chat between him, Vanessa, and Dad from 6 months ago. Vanessa, Maya's company is going to fail. When it does, she'll come crawling back. We need to make sure Richard doesn't give in. Cut her off completely now, and she'll be grateful for scraps later. My stomach drops. Tyler, are you sure? She seems pretty confident about this funding round. Vanessa, I've done my research. I called contacts at 3 VC firms. Nobody's interested in EdTech right now. She's delusional. Trust me, by Christmas she'll be broke and desperate. I'm reading, unable to believe what I'm seeing. Richard, what if she succeeds? Vanessa, she won't. But if by some miracle she does, we position ourselves as having tough love that motivated her. Either way, we win. It wasn't just Dad's judgment, Tyler says quietly. It was her. Mum's been manipulating him against you for months. Maybe years. He scrolls to more recent messages. From yesterday. Vanessa, to Tyler, your father is talking about investing in Maya's company. You need to stop him. This ruins everything. Tyler, why do you care so much? She succeeded. Isn't that good? Vanessa, because when she succeeds, we look like idiots. Your father looks weak. The family looks fractured. We need to control the narrative. I look up at Tyler, and for the first time, I see genuine remorse in his eyes. I didn't know how serious she was until the dinner, he admits. When Dad cut you off, I thought it was harsh, but I trusted their judgment. Then the news broke about your funding, and Mom completely lost it. Why are you showing me this? Because you're my sister, he says simply. And because Dad's about to make a decision based on Mom's manipulation again. That investment offer? It's not what it seems. He pulls out papers. A copy of the term sheet Dad just showed me. Page 12. Read the fine print. I flip to page 12. The language is dense, legal, deliberately obscure. But as I read it, my blood runs cold. Buried in the terms, Brooks Capital gets 2 board seats, veto power on major decisions, and a clause that states if Connected's valuation drops below $80 million at any point in the next 2 years, Brooks Capital can force a sale or liquidation of the company. It's a trap, Tyler says. If you take the money, they can destroy your company from the inside. 1 bad quarter, 1 valuation dip, and they force you to sell. Probably to one of Dad's PE portfolio companies at a discount. I feel sick. My own father, trying to trap me into signing away my company while pretending to be supportive. Mom drafted these terms, Tyler continues. She's been handling Dad's legal reviews for years. She knew you'd be desperate enough to overlook it. Why are you telling me all this? I ask again. This is your mother. Your family. Because it's wrong, Tyler says fiercely. Because I've watched her poison Dad against you for years. Every time you wanted to talk about your startup, she'd whisper that you were just asking for money. Every time you achieved something, she'd minimize it. And I believed her. I believed you were entitled and lazy and riding on the Brooks name. He swallows hard. But watching you on the BBC, holding your head high, I realized she'd been lying to all of us. And I'm done being her puppet. I'm trying to process this. My stepmother systematically manipulating my father against me. My half-brother finally seeing the truth. There's one more thing, Tyler says, and his voice drops. About your mom. About why Dad really married Vanessa so quickly. My world tilts again. What about Mom? I found something last month, Tyler says carefully. I was looking for old photos for Dad's birthday and found a box in his study. Marked Susan Private. Susan. My mother's name. There were letters inside, from Mom to Dad, Vanessa to Richard, dated from when your mom was still alive. I can't breathe. Tyler pulls out his phone, shows me photos. Handwritten letters in Vanessa's distinctive looping script. Richard, I know this is difficult, but we both know where this is headed. When Susan's gone, we can build the life we've talked about. Another one. I can't keep pretending at work. Watching you pretend to be happy with her while we both know the truth. And another. Tyler and Maya can be siblings. We can be a real family. Just wait. She was a secretary, I whisper. When Mom was dying, Vanessa was a secretary. She was planning their future, Tyler says, voice breaking. While your mom was in hospice, they were planning their life together. There's even a letter where she talks about having a child, me, to give Richard a fresh start. He looks at me with tears streaming down his face. Mom died October 2008. Dad married Vanessa January 2010. I was born December 2010. Do the math, Maya. She got pregnant 4 months after the wedding. This was all calculated. Everything clicks into place. Why Vanessa always treated me like an inconvenience. Why Dad seemed to forget he had a daughter the moment Tyler was born. Why I was sent to boarding school at 13 while Tyler got to stay home. It wasn't just favoritism. It was erasure. Vanessa wanted to replace my mother. And she wanted to make sure her son, Tyler, would be the only heir that mattered. I'm sorry, Tyler says. I benefited from a system designed to push you out. And I didn't even realize it until now. I can't speak. Can't process. My father was planning a future with a secretary while my mother was dying of cancer. Take Dad's money or don't, Tyler continues. But don't take it thinking he's changed. He's the same man who let this happen. He's just panicking because his reputation is on the line. He stands to leave, then pauses. For what it's worth, I'm proud of you. You built something real while I was just playing with Dad's money. You're more of a Brooks than I'll ever be. After he leaves, I sit in that conference room for an hour. Just sitting, staring at the term sheet Dad offered, at the letters Tyler showed me. My father is in reception, waiting for my answer about his investment. My stepmother is probably at home, orchestrating her next move. And I have to decide, do I take the money and risk everything? Do I expose them and destroy what's left of the family? Or do I walk away completely and build my empire without them? The answer comes surprisingly easily. I call a meeting. My terms. My office. My rules. When they arrive, Dad, Vanessa, Tyler, and my legal team, I'm standing at the head of the conference table with the press waiting outside. Dad looks confused. Vanessa looks suspicious. Tyler gives me a subtle nod. I've considered your investment offer, I begin. And I'm rejecting it. All of it. Brooks Capital will not be investing in Connected. Dad's face falls. Maya, I'm not finished. I slide documents across the table. This is your term sheet. Page 12 outlines how you'd gain control of my company within 2 years through forced liquidation clauses. I look at Vanessa. Did you think I wouldn't notice? She goes pale. I also have evidence of your conspiracy. I lay out the text Tyler showed me. The letters from when Mom was dying. You've been manipulating Dad against me for years. And I'm done. The room is silent. Dad staring at the letters, face draining of color. I'm leaving this family. I continue. Effective immediately. I'm changing my name to Maya Sullivan, my mother's maiden name. Dad's voice cracks. Please. No, I say firmly. You had a unicorn at your dinner table and you threw her out. I'm going to build $1 billion company, and when people remember the Brooks family, they'll remember you as the father who destroyed his daughter to protect his ego and his second wife's manipulations. I walk to the door. The press is waiting. Brooks Capital will not be investing in Connected. I tell them calmly. I'm moving forward independently, and I'm honoring my late mother by taking her name.